What is the best way to regain bowel tone in a chronically constipated child? You have to have a very good look at what they're eating. Sorry, I'll just push the button on the reset. Stop the wheat, dairy, refined sugar. And make sure they're drinking lots of water. If my children didn't want to drink water in the morning, I'd say, I'm so sorry. If you don't drink water, you can't have breakfast. There got to be rules in the home.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Barbara O'Neill, and today we're tackling some common digestive issues that many people face but often struggle to discuss: acid reflux, irritable bowel syndrome, and constipation. If you're among the millions who experience these uncomfortable conditions, you know how they can impact your daily life. Did you know that about 15 million Americans suffer from chronic acid reflux, and nearly 1 in 5 people experience symptoms of IBS at some point in their lives? These issues can lead to discomfort, frustration, and a sense of helplessness. In this video, we'll explore natural approaches to heal these conditions, focusing on dietary changes, lifestyle modifications, and practical tips that can help you regain control of your digestive health.
How important is that gut flora? So what would break it down? Antibiotics break it down. All your statin drugs break it down. Contraceptive pill breaks it down. Cortisones, prednisones break it down. Ibuprofen, regular use breaks it down. Now, when you've got gaps in your gut flora, you've now compromised the final breakdown of your food. You have now compromised the absorption of your nutrients through to your blood. You've lost your border protection. And your cells that line the gut have now lost their nourishment. How important is that gut flora? Hippocrates said all disease begins in the gut, and he didn't know the fine details of what I've shown you tonight. So what happens if you've lost your gut flora? It can return. How do you return it? And how do you know? In fact, some of the symptoms are diarrhea, some of the symptoms are constipation. It's called irritable bowel. And that's the connection with chronic fatigue syndrome. The person's not getting the nutrients out of their gut and into their blood, so no wonder they've got no energy. You see, God made it so that we've got strong acid in there to wipe out any harmful pathogens. But oh dear, the person's drinking with their meals. Oh dear, the person's eating all day long. They're stressed out with their meals. So hydrochloric acid's low, so the microbes are getting through. Further down, it's all right. It's all right, we've got another system further down to protect. It's the gut flora. Oh no, they've lost their gut flora. Can you see the two processes to protect the blood have both gone down? And so harmful pathogens can get into that blood. So how do we heal from irritable bowel syndrome? Number 1, stop. Stop the foods that irritate the lining of the gut. What are the foods that do that? Caffeine, refined sugar, the hybridized wheat. We touched on the hybridized wheat last night, and I'm going to explore it a bit more tomorrow in the acid alkaline lecture. Dairy. I acknowledge that Lula Bell in the paddock eating organic grass, who gets milked and made a proper cultured yogurt out of it, that can be healing to the gut. But there aren't many Lula Bells in the paddock. If you were to feed the milk in the supermarket to a newborn calf, the calf would die. So sorry, you can't even compare to what's in there. You're best keeping away from it. People say, what milk do you drink, Barbara? I say, I'm weaned, I eat food. Milk is for babies. We're the only creature that drinks milk past babyhood. Number 1, stop all the things that can irritate that lining. Number 2, take a probiotic. What's a probiotic? A Lactobacillus acidophilus bifidus bacterium supplement. Do you know they are the 2 permanent bacteria that live in your gut. All the others come from those two. Number 3, do you remember Psalm 103 verse 14? God made herbs for the service of man. There are 2 herbs that coat, soothe and heal the lining of the gut, and they're both a bit slimy because the lining of the gut is sliming. I think we all know aloe vera. And aloe vera has a growth stimulant. It stimulates rapid healing in the lining of the gut. The other herb, when you put water with it, it just goes a bit slippery. It's called slippery elm.
Irritable bowel syndrome is a condition that affects many people and can significantly impact their daily lives. Understanding IBS is crucial as it often involves a combination of symptoms such as bloating, gas, abdominal pain, and changes in bowel habits, which can fluctuate between diarrhea and constipation. These symptoms can be exacerbated by stress, diet, and lifestyle choices. Diet plays a significant role in managing IBS. Keeping a food diary can help identify specific triggers that may worsen symptoms. Common culprits include high-fat foods, spicy foods, dairy, and certain carbohydrates known as FODMAPs, which can ferment in the gut and lead to discomfort. Adopting a low FODMAP diet can often provide relief by reducing the intake of these fermentable carbohydrates, allowing the gut to heal and function more normally. In addition to dietary changes, regular physical activity can help alleviate symptoms of IBS. Exercise promotes healthy digestion and can reduce stress, which is often a significant factor in IBS flare-ups.
Let me give you a story of a lady that came to this lecture in New Zealand when I was there about 18 months ago. She said, I'm 70, I've had irritable bowel syndrome for 30 years. She's been on cortisones, anti-inflammatories. She said, the things that you have told me tonight, no one has ever told me. She said, no one ever told me that these foods were irritating my gut. She was very excited. That was Tuesday night. She went home, she immediately implemented everything she'd heard. She had coconut cream on her breakfast instead of cow's milk. She had a bit of honey on her breakfast instead of sugar. She stopped the wheat and bought some spelt sourdough bread. I think she had some millet for breakfast instead of her oat. Some can handle oats, some cannot. She started to have a dandelion instead of her coffee. She immediately implemented. She's 70, 30 years she's been struggling with this. Thursday night, what's that? 2 days, 2 nights. Thursday night she came up to me and she said, I've stopped bleeding from the colon. She said, I have no more pain. She said, instead of going 6 times a day, she said, today I went 3 times. Wow. 2 days. Is she healed? No. But she's on the road. You're the doctor. What has her body just told her? Yes. Yeah? Those cells that line the gastrointestinal tract, they're remade every 3 to 5 days. So the gut can respond very quickly. Where's my little 2-letter word? If you give it the right conditions.
Another natural remedy for irritable bowel syndrome is peppermint oil, which can be quite effective in easing symptoms like abdominal pain and bloating. Peppermint oil contains menthol, known for its muscle-relaxing properties. This can help soothe the muscles in the digestive tract, reducing cramps and discomfort. To use peppermint oil, consider taking enteric-coated capsules, which allow the oil to reach your intestines without breaking down in the stomach. A common dosage is 0.2 to 0.4 millilitres taken 3 times a day. It's a good idea to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement, especially if you're on other medications or have existing health issues. If you prefer a gentler approach, drinking peppermint tea can also be beneficial. A warm cup of peppermint tea after meals can help with digestion and provide a calming effect on your stomach.
The only part of our body that should be acid is the stomach. And if someone says to me, I've got a very acid stomach, I say, fantastic. It should be. But how do you know it's acid? Well, it hurts. Well, it shouldn't hurt. You see, we've got a thick mucosa lining on that stomach. So you shouldn't feel your acid. I can't feel my acid. Someone else said, well, it keeps coming up. Well, that's not the acid. The acid's not the problem. And by the way, if it keeps coming up, it can burn holes in the esophagus and the person can get an ulcerated esophagus. Can you see now it's not the acid? The problem's not the acid. The problem is that gate. So why isn't that strong? Well, there are many people today who are eating breakfast like a pauper, lunch like a pauper, and the tea is the king and the queen together because they're so busy. And so when they lay down or sit down in their easy chair to watch the television and fall asleep and then they go to bed, there's this huge amount of food in the stomach. And when the sun goes down, our body knows it goes down. And when the sun goes down, the whole body slows down. When the sun goes down, digestion doesn't happen as effectively and efficiently as it does at lunchtime and as it does at breakfast. You've heard of circadian rhythm? Circadian rhythm is set in our body by light and dark signals. When the sun goes down, there's a whole lot of messages going into the brain. So we don't digest as well as an evening as we do at breakfast and lunch. So having a big meal and gravity causes it to push against those little valves there and it weakens it. And that cardiac sphincter, it's called the cardiac sphincter because of its relationship, its nearness to the heart. It's a muscle like this. And when it tenses, it opens. And when it's relaxed, it's closed. Now, the mineral that is a muscle relaxant is magnesium. So everyone that comes to Misty Mountain Health Retreat that's got reflux or heartburn, it's called, because we serve breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and tea like a pauper, and we give them magnesium supplements 3 times a day and just before bed, they go home without the heartburn. Easy fixed. I had one guy come and he'd been on Nexium or the equivalent for 15 years. Is it working? 15 years? And by the way, you know what they're finding now? Long-term antacids is causing or contributing to colon cancer because the protein's not getting broken down because there's not enough acid to break it down. And so partially digested protein goes all the way down here. Extra bacteria has to be created to try and deal with the partially digested protein, and that can contribute to damaging the wall of the colon. Whew. I have never met anyone with an over-acid stomach. It actually doesn't happen. By the way, dogs, they've got about 6 times higher acid content in their stomach than humans. Do they get reflux? Do they get stomach ulcers? No. They need that extra acid because they're meat eaters and they need a lot of acid to break that down and get it through that body quickly.
Acid reflux occurs when stomach acid flows back into the esophagus, leading to symptoms like heartburn, regurgitation, and discomfort. Several factors contribute to this condition, including poor diet, obesity, and lifestyle habits. Foods that are spicy, fatty, or acidic can trigger reflux symptoms, as can beverages like coffee and alcohol. Additionally, eating large meals or lying down immediately after eating can exacerbate the problem as it puts pressure on the lower esophageal sphincter, allowing acid to escape. Natural remedies can help alleviate acid reflux and improve digestive health. One of the most effective approaches is to adjust dietary habits. Incorporating more alkaline foods such as leafy greens, bananas, and oatmeal can help neutralize stomach acid. It's also beneficial to consume smaller, more frequent meals instead of 3 large ones to prevent overloading the stomach. Herbal teas like chamomile, ginger, and slippery elm have soothing properties that can help reduce inflammation in the esophagus. Ginger in particular can aid digestion and help mitigate nausea, making it a valuable addition to your diet. Drinking a mixture of apple cider vinegar and water before meals may also help some individuals, as it is believed to improve digestion and balance stomach acid levels.
You know what many people use it for? They use it for, oh, I'm on the phone to a friend and this story's getting interesting. I'm watching something and I don't want to go. I just want to finish weeding the garden, or I'm just reading a chapter in the book and I don't want to. Many people use it for that. And if a person uses it for that, what happens when you feel to go is this whole area builds up and there's pressure. And so there's pressure on the anus. And if you do not go, it actually can't stay there. So what it does is it falls back into this area here. And the person finishes the book, and the person finishes the phone call, and the person finishes weeding the garden, and then they sit and they can't go because it's all fallen back into there. And meanwhile, one of the main functions of the colon is to take water out so stools are formed, so it's getting drier and it's getting harder and we're getting cement and rabbit pellets. And so the person says, I've got to get this stuff out, and then those horrible little bubbles start popping out called hemorrhoids. If it ever gets to that, the easiest way to do it is to have an enema. Now, a lot of people go, ooh, an enema, it is so easy. It is so easy. All you have to do is put a little nozzle in there, put a cup and a half of water in there, it softens everything, then you sit on the throne, ideally with your squatty potty there, and it all comes out with ease. That's an easy thing to do. But many people don't promptly answer nature's immediate call, and their colon gets into the habit of not going when it should. And there's something else you can wear on your colon for a few hours a day, and it's a castor oil compress. Castor oil is an oil that penetrates deeper than any other oil, and it'll break up the congestion in the colon and help you to pass with ease. So if someone tends to constipation, it's very important that they invest in a $2 plastic stool from the Crazy Clarks. Do you have Crazy Clarks? $2 shop, or I don't know, something like that. Okay, those shops. Or they go to Bed Bath and Beyond and invest in a squatty potty. So take the pressure off there and start drinking more water, start wearing the castor oil compress on there.
Now let's discuss herbal remedies for constipation. One effective option is senna, a well-known natural laxative. Senna contains compounds called senosides that stimulate the intestines, promoting bowel movements. You can find senna in teas or capsules. While it's effective, it's best used occasionally, as relying on it too often can lead to dependence. Another great herbal remedy is ginger. Known for its digestive benefits, ginger can help stimulate the digestive tract, making it easier to pass stool. You can enjoy ginger tea or add fresh ginger to your meals for a flavourful boost. It not only aids digestion, but can also help relieve any discomfort associated with constipation. Incorporating these herbs into your routine can support digestive health and provide relief from constipation naturally. Remember to also maintain a balanced diet rich in fibre and stay hydrated for optimal results. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this information on healing acid reflux, irritable bowel syndrome and constipation naturally helpful and empowering. Remember, making small changes to your diet and lifestyle can lead to significant improvements in your digestive health. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more insights on health and wellness. If you have any questions or personal experiences you'd like to share, feel free to leave a comment below. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.